Hey folks, we are back with a Volvo, the S90 T8 Inscription Plus this time around. And yes, I know, I can hear some of you saying, wait, haven't you already driven and reviewed the car already? We have, but this time around, we've decided to ask Volvo to loan us the car a bit longer because we decided to do a special vlog series of what life is like with a plug-in hybrid saloon. And we're going to start with, right now, a short trip to the office, shall we? Okay, as you probably can guess, we are no strangers to the Volvo S90 in all its forms, especially this one, the T8 Inscription Plus. Now, I like to show some of the highlights that I like about this particular specification of the S90. For me, I'm a huge audiophile. I absolutely love the fact that it's got a crisp Bowers & Wilkins hi-fi system on board, so it really sounds like a four-wheeled studio on the move. But above all else, I like to note, despite the S90's bulk, it is actually quite a big car. It's wide, it's long, it could be undaunting to some people, but surprisingly, as you get used to it, which won't take too long, say 10-15 minutes, it's quite a pleasant car to be in. More so when you leave it in its default hybrid drive mode. And as you can see right now, we are running fully on electric, hence the silence, and it just makes even the shortest of commute trips, like from where we were, from Volvo's office to our office, which takes about 15 minutes, all the more pleasant. Above all else, this is a plush luxury car, so there's a lot of things to bask in as well to make you feel just a little bit more special. The wood panel, the plush leather, and the power adjustable seats with memory function, and just so much more. In terms of driving, well, it's a Volvo. It's safe as any Volvo can get, probably more so than what most people might think, because there's blind spot warning and info, lane keep assist and mitigation, collision warning, and just so much more. What I'm trying to say effectively is that the S90 is a very, very pleasant car to be in, despite its size and bulk, to say the least. And if you don't mind, I'd like to continue my drive with some tunes blasting out of this crisp Bowers & Wilkins sound system. Hey folks, welcome to day 2 of our week-long vlog of what life is like living with a plug-in hybrid like this, the Volvo S90 T8 Inscription Plus. And I've just discovered one interesting way to enjoy the benefits of electrification, which is to see whether if I can do what we like to call a milk run, or in this case, a laundry run, inside my taman, a 5-kilometer round trip at most, running on just full electric. And just to make sure, you know, this video is a bit more interesting, say hi to my cat. Yeah boy, I gotta do a laundry run. I'll see you later. For information, for those curious, I've given the car a full charge, and the instrument dash readout says that I have about 45 kilometers of full electric drive. So this round trip, sending and picking up laundry, shouldn't take too much of that. It should be a walk in the park, literally. So when you're running on full electric like this, one of the biggest perks that I love most personally is the silence of it all. It just makes the whole trip a lot more comfortable, to say the least. More so in a car that has a very, very, very comfort focused ride and suspension setup like the S90. This is probably the best way to test a particular car's NVH as well. And it's safe to say that this S90's NVH suppression is nothing short of impressive, to say the least. Okay, now that's an unforeseen circumstance. My laundromat's closed. But let's not make this trip in vain. Let's see if we can actually orbit my taman, my greater taman, running on just full electricity. So now we're just going to make a return trip to drop off laundry that I couldn't drop off. Okay, a bit of a hill climb here. See if there's enough torque. There should be. See, that's the thing about electric motors. They're so torquey. You don't even need to floor the pedal to access all of it, because it's available instantaneously. The effect is similar to flicking a switch. So there's instant torque, instant as in, yeah. Still not using a drop of petrol, which is amazing. And there we have it, folks. A Taman run done solely on electric power with a plug-in hybrid, just like the Volvo S90 Inscription Plus. For today, we've decided to use our usual office lunch outing as a means to do a backseat test, and just to make things a bit more difficult, we've got two very differently sized blokes to throw in the mix for this test. This should be interesting, but I'm fairly confident both of them will find the back seat of the S90 to be very, very, very nice. Let's find out, shall we?
Hey, Thoriq.
Hey boss, hey Brendan.
Hello.
Alright, so
Buckle up.
yeah, he's quite tall.
You're 5'10", 5'11". 6 lah.
Almost 6.
Mr. Lewis, how's the back seat for you?
Nice, good.
What do you like?
Spacious, good leg room. No? And very silent, the car. You know?
Yeah.
The car's actually quiet right now
Very
because
quiet.
we're still running on electric.
Still electric.
Still on electric. We've got about just over 80% left.
Even the right is quite comfortable behind.
I mean, yeah, Brendan, you're sitting on the driver's side, so
Yep.
if you have a small driver in front, it helps. But I
Correct.
think even if you were seated here and another person of your size sits behind you, I think no problem.
Yeah.
Ah, there it is. Real sun curtain. Ooh, so fancy.
For the back.
Wow, barulah VIP. Oh, gentlemen, how's the aircon at the back?
No complaint. What speed are you on? Number 1, 2.
Automatic.
You
guys
can't
can-
control from the back.
You can control, I cannot.
No. There's none
There's
at
no
the back.
control at all.
No,
No.
no
Oh,
control.
okay, that's quite a bummer.
Yeah, but it's interesting to note that they put the vents are not in the center, right?
No,
On the
Not
left,
in the
side.
on the pillar.
Oh, it's on the
B-pillar.
B-pillar. What? Small matter, right? You guys are not feeling too warm or stuffy, right?
No.
Just tell the driver.
What?
Turn it up a bit.
Well,
Voice
okay.
control.
No,
Yeah.
just in case you
Ah.
want it.
This car got voice command, but got two. One artificial one, one natural one.
Driver.
Aircon kasih kuat. Yeah.
Oh, it's nice.
Okay, gentlemen. I know, short trip, but how does the S90's backseat feel so far?
No complaints.
No complaints at all. Even with the drive.
Okay, things you don't like is probably like no control for the aircon lah. You have to
Yeah.
voice command the aircon lah.
Yep.
So I think the leg room, head room, you know, I think
This
no
is
complaint.
actually me sitting straight.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
And also one thing I appreciate is the sound level.
The noise suppression.
Yeah, the noise suppression. I mean, for someone who wants to relax and be driven around, I think this is a plus point.
Okay. In other words, if you're a Tan Sri, you want to be driven,
Yeah, why not?
you know.
I have one thing to add before we go makan lah. I think the one thing that really could have been better is a driver. Like, you could have dropped us off at the lobby.
Sorry
No,
lah.
he couldn't resist. He found a nice parking.
That's a good parking spot.
Alright, so that's that then. Let's go makan, gentlemen.
Yep.
Daryl,
Let's go.
Later.
one more thing. Since he's buying lunch, take it easy on him.
Okay, let's go makan. Hello folks, it's day 4 and it happens to be a public holiday Friday, and honestly not in the mood to drive out. However, it has posed me a very interesting insight. What if you own a plug-in hybrid vehicle but live in a condo or apartment like so, and The first problem I can think of, where do we take this bad boy to plug in? Because as you can see, plug points aren't as abundant as, well, when we first started our week-long vlog at my landed property. So, if you have a plug-in hybrid but live in a condo and apartment with an issue of plug points, there is a very simple solution which I'm going to show you in a bit, and it's in the car. So let's say you live in a condo or apartment where charging points are scarce, or you probably in your rush forgot to charge the car the night before. Worry not, in a plug-in hybrid like the Volvo S90 T8, there is a charge mode where you can charge the battery using the internal combustion engine. All you have to do is slide this and press charge. Effectively, with this mode, you can charge the hybrid battery on the go using the petrol engine. The only downside here is that you have to use the petrol engine, which means you have to use a little bit more petrol than planned. But it's a small price to pay given that you can charge the battery on the go. Now, isn't that neat? One of the beauties of owning a premium plug-in hybrid saloon like this one is the fact that you get to bask in something that I personally love, and something I know many audiophiles like me would enjoy, which is its sound system. Yep. So for information, the Volvo S90 T8 Inscription Plus comes equipped with a Bowers and Wilkins hi-fi system. There are 19 speakers throughout the cabin, all powered through a Class D amplifier, and they're all paired up with the infotainment system. For those who don't know, the infotainment is both Android and Apple compatible, so accessing is very easy. The sound system quality is spectacular, to say the least. I mean, 19 speakers and 1,400 watts. What more can I say? It sounds spectacular. What makes it even sweeter is the fact that through the infotainment screen, you get to switch between 3 different sound modes, which are individual stage, studio, and the Gothenburg Concert Hall. And suffice to say, this thing sounds beyond what any car sound system can offer in this class and size and price, to say the least. The fact that you get to enjoy and bask in it without running the petrol engine is just another huge plus point. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to enjoy some tunes while I do a bit of work in this very, very plush and spacious backseat of the Volvo S90. So, we'll come back to you tomorrow with another update. So, based on what I've calculated, I've done close to about 455 kilometers over the last 6 days and consumed just about 31 liters of fuel. For information, the Volvo S90 T8 Inscription Plus's fuel tank is about 50 liters. So you do the math, I'm averaging about just under 15 kilometers per liter, or 6.8 liters per 100 km. Now, keeping in mind that this is 6 days of mixed driving, urban, highway, being stuck in traffic, being stuck idling in queue at a drive-through, and gunning it a little here and there, you've got to admit that is rather impressive. And the fact that, you know, I've not been warranted to give this car a fill up of fuel throughout the whole time is quite something. And just to compound the challenge, you know, living in between 2 different types of living spaces, a landed property and an apartment, when you're in the latter, charging spaces is always going to be a difficulty. So one way to do that, as I've proven to you in the previous days, was to charge the battery using the engine, using the charge mode, which consumes a bit more fuel. And despite having, you know, half and half of that, of being able to plug in and having to charge with the engine and mixed driving conditions with this much miles, you've got to admit that is stellar, to say the least. So real world, you can actually attain about there, 6.8 liters per 100 km, and that is also considering if you have a heavy right foot like me. Hey folks, welcome back to our week-long vlog series with a plug-in hybrid saloon that happens to be the Volvo S90 T8 Inscription Plus, and unfortunately it's our 7th and last day with it. It's going back to Volvo tomorrow, and we've decided to take this opportunity to have a retrospective of what life was like with the S90. Let's recall back to, you know, some of the small errands we take for granted, like a milk run or laundry run around the taman. We've come to the very difficult situation of not wanting to return such a nice car back tomorrow. However, we are looking forward to our next vlog series because I know I can hear some of you saying, S90 is nice, you're right, but it's a bit too big for me. Don't worry, it's got a smaller brother that's just as good and just as electrifying, called the S60, and we will detail what life is like with that in our next vlog series. So until then, don't forget to visit our website, our Facebook, our Instagram, and we'll see you at the next one.